Hello, everybody. Welcome to the next game in the 1987 American League replay. We are at the next to the last game on Sunday, May the 10th, and it's game number 203 of the season replay. In Detroit, it'll be the Oakland A's, the first place Oakland A's, against the up-and-coming Detroit Tigers. They've been on a roll lately, so they've improved their record dramatically. Starting pitchers for today's game, Jack Morris for the Tigers. He is 3-3. And Moose Haas for the A's. He is 0-1. Ballpark effects, not very good for singles, 2 and a 1. But home runs, lefties a 14, righties 11. So that's where the hitters will make their hay. Looking back at the previous two games of the series, on Friday night, the 8th, Tigers defeated the A's by the score of 7-0 behind a shutout performance from Frank Tanana, as he pitched a three-hitter, walking one, striking out six, and got all the help he needed from Terry Harper, who had three doubles. But 7-0 the game there. Saturday night's game, game 2 of the series, Oakland came back to win it 11-6, capped off by a Reggie Jackson 2-run homer in the 7th and a grand slam from Canseco in the 8th. And they won it 11-6 over the Tigers. Now, looking at the bullpens from the previous game, Leeper pitched 2 1/3, so he is unavailable. Howell pitched 2, so he's going to be at the back end. They'll bring him out if they run out of pitchers, basically. And over here, Thurman, an inning and 2/3, he got kind of knocked around, so he's going to be the last guy to pitch. Actually, Darnell Coles, a position player, pitched the 9th. So that's what's going on with that. Hello, Ben and Ernest. Good to see both of you. Game time temperature is a cool 97 degrees outside here just after noon Eastern on a Wednesday. Jack Morris finishing up the warm-up tosses. And on the replay, Morris is 3-3. His ERA is 3.66. He was 3.38 in real world. 47 innings pitched, 34 hits, 15 walks, and 40 strikeouts. Tabby is just outside the door. I took a picture of her on her little table that she loves to sit on. And you can see the little white thing right here. That's my booster for the internet. So it's right there, right outside this door. So it should be boosting my internet signal. I don't know why I've been having problems so much lately. But yeah, she likes this little, it's a window here. Of course, when it's nice weather, the window is open. But Tabby's just relaxing there and just having a good old time. And I'm not going to disturb her. Joel, hello. If they pitch 3 innings or more, they're definitely unavailable. If they pitch 2 innings, then they're like at the back end, and I'll pull them out when I run out of bullpen arms, just to try to be fair. Unless it's somebody like Mike Marshall has a rubber arm that can pitch all the time. You know, some of it depends on who the pitcher is as well. All right, Louis Spallonia will lead things off for the A's. He's hitting 302, a homer and 2 driven in. He hit 287 real world. And run away from Detroit. That's a 210, and that's going to be a split chance. 1-7's a single. That's a 9. I know it doesn't look it, but that's a 9 because that's a 6. So that is a 9. So that will be a line out to Mr. Whitaker for out number 1. Brings up Mike Davis. He is doing the designated hitting in this game. They got Reggie Jackson in right field for some reason instead of having Mike Davis, but that's what La Russa wanted. 316 average on the replay for Mike Davis. 7 home runs, 20 driven in. He hit 265 real world. 6-7 to the left-hander. 1-5 is a double, but that's a 10, so it's just a deep fly to right field. Hauled in by Sheridan, and there are 2 away. Carney Lansford, third baseman, steps in. 2 outs, base is clear. Lansford hitting 304 on the replay. 4 homers, 23 driven in. Hit 289 real world. 5-9, and that's a split chance again. 1-4 is a single, but that's an 8, so it's a line out to Trammell. And the A's go rather quietly here in the first inning. Nothing doing for either side, for the A's rather, I should say. And we go to the bottom of the first. It's Oakland nothing, and the Tigers coming to bat. Moose Haas was making his second start of the season, as he was a recent addition to the team. On the replay for Haas, he comes in 0-1, an ERA of 12.46, but he's only pitched 4 innings. He went 4 innings and gave up 5 hits, 2 walks, and 3 strikeouts. So, it's only been 4 innings. He pitched 41 innings real world in total. And Lou Whitaker will lead things off. He's hitting 284, 8 homers, 23 driven in. He hit 265 real world. 6-6, Moose Haas to the lefty is another split chance. 1-3 is a single. That's a 1. The double die in favor of the Tigers in this one. It was all high numbers in the top half, but we get a 1 here in the second half, and that's a base hit for Lou Whitaker. Now, Haas is a -1. He's actually a -2 hole, but Telton's a +1 for a net -1. Whitaker, to get the lead, needs a 4 or a 5. Does not get it. He will hold, and catcher Mike Heath. Interesting to have him batting second. That's a very unusual place for him to be batting, but that's what they have. That's what Sparky went with. Haas, 5-2 to Heath, is a fly ball right field exit. We're going to test Reggie Jackson. 4E10. 4E10. 4-14. This is a day game after a night game in theory because it was played on a Sunday afternoon. So you might have a few little lineup irregularities that you wouldn't normally see. So a 4 and a 14 is still going to be an F2. He'll make the catch, but we're checking for the error. He's an E10, so he's got to avoid 3, 4, and then 14 through 18. 3, 4, and 14 through 18. And that's a 13. He barely makes that catch without an error. So Reggie makes the play. Wasn't pretty, but he got it done. It was effective. Not pretty, but effective, as they say. And now, we will go on to Kirk Gibson, designated hitter. Gibby, limited duty, only 15 at bats. He's hitting 267 with a homer and 3 runs driven in. He just recently joined the team after being out most of April, pretty much all of April. He had 277 in real world. 311, and that's going to be a hit by pitch, so he gets plunked. He is plunked big time. Not happy about it either. He's saying something to Haas, but Haas is just ignoring him. First and second, 1 out for Alan Trammell. Trammell is one of the league leaders in hitting. I don't know if he has enough at bats to qualify. He's only got 73 at bats, but he's hitting 411. 7 home runs, 19 driven in. He hit 343 real world. And Trammell's chance to put the Tigers in the lead early. 5-4 is a ballpark single check. It's 1-1. That's it. You need a 1. And look at that. The double die comes up as a 1. This has to be a loaded double die for the Tigers because it's come up as a 1 twice. The only ballpark single you get is a 1, and this is a 1. So I think Tony La Russa is crying foul, saying that this is rigged with this D20 being what it is. But because when Oakland was batting, they all came with high numbers. Now the Tigers are batting, we've gotten a couple of 1s. I can't explain it, just the way it is. All right, here's Tad Sheridan. Bases loaded, nobody out. I'm sorry, 1 out. They're playing back for the double play because the double play does end the inning. Sheridan hitting 233, 2 homers, 7 driven in, hit 259 real world. That's a 1-4, and that's a ground ball second base A. So exactly what they wanted, a 4-6-3 double play, and Moose Haas gets out of the mess. So maybe the way La Russa is thinking about it, that's they're just desserts. Actually, it's 4-6-3, not 6-4-3. Let's make sure we get that right. All right, come on. What's going on here? Out. Okay, I gotta have him stay at second, I guess. All right, there we go. All right, so nothing doing for the Tigers. They had the bases loaded with 1 out, and Sheridan hits into the inning-ending double play. Go to the top of the second, and Mr. Jose Canseco will lead off. Canseco hitting 300 even on the replay. 8 homers, 21 driven in. He hit 257 real world. 6-7, and that's a 1-7 single. That's a 9. You can see the dot there for the 6 means that's a 9. So once again, the D20 in favor of the Tigers. That is merely a line out to Trammell. 1 away for Reggie Jackson. Jackson on the replay hitting 196, 6 homers, 16 driven in. He hit 220 real world. 3-4, and that's a ground ball to first, and that's going to be handled by Darrell Evans. He will take it to the bag himself to beat the slow-running Jackson. And there's 2 away, just that quickly. For rookie Mark McGuire, hitting 280 on the replay. 5 homers, 15 driven in. He hit 289 real world. 3-8, and that's a strikeout. First strikeout for Morris. And the A's again go quietly here in the second inning. We go to the bottom of the second, still no score from Detroit. Haas back out, had a rough first inning, but got through it with unscathed. Now he's got to face Matt Noakes, who's normally a catcher, but playing left field in this game. 2-5, and that's a 1-9 double. And again, for the Tigers, it comes up low. It's a double. That tainted D20 for the Tigers. Noakes enters the game hitting 214, 8 homers, 20 driven in, but there's a double right there for Matt Noakes. He will not be held, and here's Darrell Evans, first baseman. He is hitting on the replay 235, 6 homers, 15 driven in, hit 257 real world. 3-10, and that's a ballpark blast. For Darrell Evans, it's 1-14, and you knew the D20 was going to be in range. That was just a given, the way the D20 has been going. Home run, Darrell Evans. Cranks one over that short porch in right field, and it is now 2-0 Tigers. That is home run number 7 for Darrell Evans. RBIs 16 and 17. Tigers take a 2-0 lead. No doubt about that one. Here's Billy Bean. He is hitting 2. Oh, hold on, let me get the home run in the computer. There we go. Bean is hitting 333 and 36 at bats. I guess that's 12 for 36. No homers, 5 driven in. He hit 258 real world. 3-5, and that's a fly to Reggie in right field for 1 away. 1 down, and that will send up Tom Brookins, third baseman, number 9 hitter. Brookins is hitting 260 on the replay, 2 homers, 6 driven in, hit 241 real world. 3-5, and that's a ground ball to short. Alfredo Griffin will handle it, 2 down. And the A's figure as long as they can keep the D20 irrelevant, they'll be in good shape. But if it depends on the D20, they're going to be they're playing with their hands tied behind their back, basically. Here's Whitaker, because it is a loaded D20, no question about it. 2-10, and that's a single for Lou Whitaker. 2-out single. He's going to be looking to get the lead. Needs a 4 or a 5 to get the lead. Does not get it. He will hold. And here's Mike Heath. One 3 for Heath is a ground ball to Griffin again, and that's going to end the inning. But a 2-run homer off the bat of Darrell Evans gives the Tigers a 2-0 lead after 2. D20 very prominently featured in that lead as well. Morris back out will face Tony Phillips, Mickey Tettleton, and Alfredo Griffin of the A's, bottom portion of the order. So here is Phillips. Phillips on the replay, hitting 255, 2 homers, 12 driven in, hit 240 real world. 6'11", switch hitter batting left, is a ground ball shortstop X. That's Trammell. He's a 1, so you know he's going to get to it. We're just checking the E21. And on a shortstop E21, he merely has to avoid 6, 15, and 17. And he does. So Trammell makes the play, and Phillips is out of there. One down for Mickey Tettleton. Tettleton on the replay is hitting 192, 5 homers, 9 driven in. He hit 194 real world. 3-4, and that's a 1-5 home run, but that's a 15. You knew it was not going to be a low number for the A's. It was going to have to be a high number because this is rigged. This is my first rigged Strat game. You're seeing it live. My first rigged Strat game. It's a pitiful fly ball to right field, and that's 2 away. Yes, it is rigged for the Tigers. No question about it. Here's Alfredo Griffin. 269 on the replay. No homers, 6 driven in. Hit 263 real world. 6-12 switch hitters. Ground ball first base C. Evans will field it. Flip to Morris covering, and that's going to end the inning. Heck, it's so tainted we might even get a no-hitter by Morris. You never can tell. He's retired all 9 he's faced so far. So depends on the D20. He'll get it. The A's have to get something that does not depend on a D20. All right, here's Kirk Gibson. He will step in the box. .310 for Gibson, and that's a strikeout. No D20 involved there. No, I'm not swapping the D20. I'm going to keep it up because this game is rigged for the Tigers. And I rigged it especially for the Tigers because I want the Tigers to win and close the gap on those Yankees. 4-12, Moose Haas, fly ball, right field X. We're looking right at Reggie again. He is a 4-E10. 4-15. That time that threw me off because it should have been like a 2, but he actually got a 15 out of it, which makes it an F2. E10. Again, he has to avoid 3, 4, and then 14 through 18. That's a 5, so it's a rare play on an F2. But nobody's on base, so it probably shouldn't matter. Let's see here. The outfielder catches the fly ball for an out. Oh, there's not a runner on, so there's no appeal to worry about or whatever. It's a not so rare play that we just move on from. It's a fly out for out number 2. And that brings up Pat Sheridan. Get into a double play his first time. 2-7, and that's a strikeout. Strikeout number 2 for Haas. He pitches a 1-2-3 inning. If you're going to rig it, you have to make it look legitimate, so it can't be a total whitewash. We got to mix in a once in a while non-important positive effect for Oakland. But when it comes down to the nitty-gritty, it's going to the Tigers' way. You can guarantee that. All right, here's Polonia. First time up, he lined to second. 4-9, and that is a liner right to the first baseman, Darrell Evans. One away. One down for Mike Davis, the designated hitter. 2-3, and that's going to be a fly to center. Hauled in by Bean, 2 down. And Carney Lansford. 2-12, and that's a fly to left. Hauled in out there by Noakes, and that's another 1-2-3 inning for Morris. He's retired all 12 he has faced with pretty much relative ease. Go to the bottom of the 4th. Moose Haas back out. We'll face Noakes, Evans, Bean, and Brookins. But it was Noakes and Evans that got him for the 2 runs earlier. 5-8, and that's a line out to Griffin at short. 1 away. Darrell Evans had the home run his last time up. 1-6. This time it's a fly to center. And Polonio puts it away. 2 down for Bill Bean. 4, and that's a catcher X. We're looking at Tettleton. He's a 3. 3 and a 1, and of course it's a 1. You know that it's the Tigers. What do you know? The D20 is for the Tigers. So I don't know how many times I got to keep repeating myself. 3-1 is an infield single. So we're looking to make sure there's no errors in E7. Got to avoid 3, 15, 16, and 18. And that's a 15, so that's going to be an insult to injury because on the E7 you get a 1-base error. So it's a single plus a 1-base error, and that will put Bean at second base. Single plus an E2 puts him at second base where he's in scoring position with 2 outs. So the error on Mr. Tettleton puts Bean at second, and now Brookins in a clutch situation. And against a right-hander, he loses a couple of hits on 2-9 and 2-10. We get a 5-12. Instead, it's a ground ball to first, and McGuire will flip over to Haas covering to end the inning. So we go to the 5th. It's still 2-0 Tigers. Jose Canseco will be the leadoff man for Oakland against Jack Morris. 2-3, and that's a fly to center. Hauled in by Bean, 1 away. Or Reggie. Morris only has 1 strikeout so far, kind of low for him. 5-7, and that's a walk. That's the first walk issued by Morris. First base runner allowed by Morris. Reggie will not be held, obviously. And here's Mark McGuire. 3-5 for McGuire, and there's the first base hit of the game. 1's a double, but of course it's going to be a single, 2 stars. D20 did the least amount of damage to Detroit as possible with a single, 2 stars. Puts runners on the corners. There goes the no-hitter. Took to the 5th inning to get it. Runners on the corners with 1 out, and they're going to play for the double play. Morris to Phillips. Nobody being held on. 6-10, switch hitter batting left. That's a catcher X. Heath is a 2E3. 2 and a 7. So you get the high numbers for the Tigers. How many times I got to keep shouting the same thing from the mountaintop? 2 and a 17 is a G2, but it looks like that might not be enough to turn a double play. That seems kind of weird. You wouldn't really throw to second like that, I don't think. But I'll check the X chart advancement and see what happens on that. See if it's a throw to second or if it's something else. So Heath on the error chance is an E3. He's got to avoid 3, 16, and 18, which he does. It's a G2. So we go over here to G2. We're right here. Runners on the corners with the infield back. It says force. Batter is safe, run at first, out. Okay, so that's the way they're going to play it. So it's going to be ruled a 2-6 fielder's choice. Jackson will score, and on at first is Phillips. On the RBI fielder's choice, seems like a funky play to me, but you would think the only play he would have had would have been to go to first, but whatever. All right, so Phillips will be held on. To get a lead, he needs a 2 or a 6 through 8. That's a 5. He does not get the lead. So here's Mickey Tettleton. 2 outs now and a runner at first for Tettleton. 3-3, and that's a ground ball to second, and that's going to end the inning. A's do get a run. Close the gap to 2-1 as we go to the bottom of the 5th. And this will be the fatigue inning for Moose Haas, as he has a 5 on his card for fatigue. And again, looking back at the previous game, Dave Leeper, the only one who's definitely out for the A's based on usage in the previous game. And I'll show it again for those that came in late. whoops, this page. This was from the 9th, not the 8th. So this is the previous game on the 9th. Leaper went 2 1/3, Howell went 2, and Thurman went 1 2/3. Thurman's available, but I'm going to make him more of the back end guy. Howell, I'll make available, but more of the back end guy. Leaper, I'm going to make him unavailable because of that. So we're just trying to keep things realistic as possible. All right, here is Lou Whitaker. Lou Whitaker, 311, and that is a ground ball to third base, and Lansford takes care of business. 1 away for Mike Heath. Heath is 0 for 2. That's a 2-8, and that's a single to center field for Mike Heath. Heath, not a threat to run, will not go anywhere, will not be held. And here's Kirk Gibson. For 8, and that's going to be damage. 1-3 is a double. That'll be a single for Gibson, 2 stars. But runners on the corners. With only 1 out, Gibson a threat to run. 5 or a 6 gets him the lead. That's a 5. He will get the lead. He will go 19, being held as a 17. -1's a 16. 1-16, and they're going to throw through. And he's safe. Stolen base for Gibson. That takes the double play out of the equation. It's actually going to force the A's. Well, not force them, but they will bring the infield in now. Trammell is at bat. Boy, the temptation is to walk Trammell and pitch to Sheridan, who's already hitting the 1 double play, although you would be facing a lefty. But I think they're going to do that. They're going to walk Trammell intentionally. I mean, he's not hitting 400 for no reason. So that sets up a double play for Pat Sheridan, already hitting the 1 in the first inning. So the bases are loaded with 1 out, infield looking for that double play, seeing if Pat Sheridan can find that ground ball A. 2-10. Now he found a ballpark single check, but it's only a 1-2. That's a 4. So this time Devil Die didn't get quite low enough for him. It's a line out to second, and that will keep the bases loaded. So now Matt Noakes with the infield back to normal. Bases loaded, 2 outs. Matt Noakes. 2-10, and that's a ballpark blast. That's bad news. 1-14, and that's gone. A grand salami for Matt Noakes. Look at it again. 2-10, ballpark blast. 1-14, that's a 3. You knew that was going to be a 3 when it mattered the most. A grand slam home run for Matt Noakes. And the Devil Die comes through again. I know there's a song that said the Devil went down to Georgia, but I think the Devil went up to Detroit in this game. Noakes, that is home run number 9. RBIs 21, 22, 23, and 24. And that will, of course, make Moose Haas fatigued. And LaRusse is probably fatigued of watching him pitch. But with 2 outs, they're going to try to get him through the inning and not have to burn a pitcher until the next inning. 5-9, and that's a pop out to third, so he does get through that. But Abraham Lincoln 4-score inning on the grand slam from Matt Noakes. And it is 6-1 Tigers, and that's going to be it for Mr. Haas. He is done, and they'll probably go to Gene Nelson, if I had to guess, in the bottom of the 6th. He's got the biggest actually, no, they were going to go to Ontiveros. He's more the long relief guy in the mop-up duty. So Steve Ontiveros will be the new pitcher for Oakland. He's a -1 hold, so it'd be a 0. So Haas goes 5 innings, gives up 6 runs. They were all earned. And let's get let the computer tell me all the other details instead of having to do the math myself. If you got the computer to do it, why not let the computer do it? 9 hits, 6 runs, 1 walk, 2 strikeouts, and 2 home runs. He gave a 2-run homer to Evans, grand slam to Noakes. Those were all the 6 runs right there. So Morris now enjoying a 6-1 lead. We'll be facing Alfredo Griffin to lead off for the A's. Tigers looking to improve to over 500, 15-14, and bring Oakland back to the AL West pack a little bit at 19-12. 1-6, and that's a ground ball to first. Darrell Evans will make the play. One away. Hoping for a close game, but when you got a loaded, cheating devil die, it's kind of hard to fight that. 6-10, and that is a catcher X. Notice 6-9 would have been a home run, or at least a potential home run. Not really because he's weak power, but catcher X for Heath. He's a 2. 2 and an 11. Let's see what that does for a catcher. 2 and an 11 is a pop out, and he is an E3. 316 or 18 are the only ways he drops this pop out. He does not, so it's a pop out. One away. Brings up Mike Davis. 2 outs, base is clear. 2-7. Struck him out. It's going to end the inning. So it's shutdown inning for Jack Morris. Only a second strikeout, but he'll take it. And at the end of 5.5, it's Detroit 6 and Oakland 1. Tigers looking to win the series 2-3, or 2-1 rather. And Ontiveros will be the new pitcher for Oakland. And he will be facing Bean, Brookins, and Whitaker. Let's get the numbers on Ontiveros on the replay. See what he can do, or what he has done, which isn't much. He has been struggling, so it's a good time to bring him in when his game's out of hand. He is 0-1 with an ERA of 10, but his ERA was up near 30 at one point. It's at 10 even. 9 innings pitched, 18 hits, 5 walks, 5 strikeouts, and of course 10 runs allowed to have that 10 ERA. Here he is facing Billy Bean. 6-5, and that's a fly to left. Canseco makes the catch. And now his ERA is down to single digits at 9.64. Here's Brookins. 3-9, and that's a pop-up to Lansford. Oops, down here. For 2 down. They'd love to have Ontiveros finish this game out and save the bullpen for the next series. Whitaker, 6-9. That's a 1-10 single. 16 is a line out to second. Double Die says, I've already done my damage. Why make it worse? I proved my point. So we're going to make a high number this time to get this game over with, because the point has been made and the damage has been done. All right, so top of the 7th we go. Carney Lansford, Canseco, and Reggie Jackson due up. And it looks like we're starting to slide off where the cards won't fit, so I'll bring it over here now. Carney Lansford will be placed right here on the score sheet. 3-9 for Lansford, and that is a fly to left field. Noakes hauls it in, 1 away. And that'll send up Jose Canseco. Jose, can you see Canseco? Canseco is 0 for 2. 1-7, and he's going to strike out. Strikeout number 3 for Jack Morris. And that'll bring up Reggie. Reggie has grounded out and walked. 1-3, and that's a ballpark blast. 1-14, and they went ahead and give it to him. Like I said, they don't want to make it obvious. They know they've already proved their point. So they, in homage to the legendary Reggie Jackson, Hot Dog Jackson, they allow the home run. His home run number 7, RBI number 17, and it cuts the lead to 6-2. McGuire, 2-7, struck him out. Got number 4. So the Reggie home run will give the A's not any life, but at least something other than a 0 on the board. And we will go to the bottom of the 7th. Score is 6-2 in favor of the A's. It'll be Heath, Gibson, and Trammell due up for the Tigers. But hello, Jimmy Jam. No, Jimmy, I would love to, I wanted, actually, the only thing I've done with, and this was years ago, me and Tabletop Earl did a 1941 Joe DiMaggio co-op where we went through his hitting streak, and we each played a game on our own channel during his hitting streak until it ended. I think it was on his channel that he didn't get a hit, so that ended that project. But no, I haven't done anything else with anyone else. I would love to do something with somebody else at one point. Hello, Brad. Didn't see you in there. Yeah, don't want to go to Cubic Zirconia. The best thing about being at the Diamond is you can look across the way and see the construction of the new ballpark. That's the only thing that looks positive at the Diamond at this point, is looking at the new ballpark that's out there. Hello, Miss Harden. I hope you saw Hot Dog Jackson's home run. Solo shot. It only cut the lead to 6-2, so it didn't help out a whole lot for the A's. But it made Hot Dog Jackson feel better, I guess. But we're at the 7th inning stretch, and that means take me out to the ball game. I'm going to go check on Tabby, and while you guys listen to Take Me Out to the Ball Game. All right, 7th inning stretch is in the books. And for those that missed it earlier and maybe have a curiosity, I don't know, possibly, maybe. This is, let's get this ring light off of here. This is Tabby enjoying her table space right outside the door. And as you can see, that little white piece there is the boost for the internet. So hopefully I don't have any problems with the internet. Although I have been having some lately. I think it's been Xfinity that's been causing that. But she loves her little table, and she loves to sit by this window when the weather's not 98 degrees. She loves sitting there and enjoying that. So that's what she's doing. In case you're curious, she is here. She is sitting there and hopefully having a good old time. At least we hope so. Enjoy her while we can still have her. She's up to 14 years old, so it's only be so many more years that we get to have with her. So hello, Midlife. Good to see you. So I know Chuck likes to see Tabby and check up on Tabby, so there she is. And she's just relaxing and resting. All right, so Steve Ontiveros going to be going in his 2nd inning of work. He pitched a 1-2-3 6th inning. Score 6-2, bottom of the 7th. Mike Heath, the batter. 5-4, and that is a catcher X. So back to another X chance for the catcher Tettleton. His X chance 3E7. So he has a 3E7. And of course the double die is going to be a low number for the Tigers. I already told you it was a rigged game for the Tigers. The D20 has already been pre-programmed to rig for the Tigers. It's been like that the whole game. 3 and a 3 is a W/G. Nobody's on base though, so I don't think you don't have to worry about being a pass ball or anything like that. Tettleton's an E7. So let's get the E7. He's got to avoid 3, 15, 16, and 18. and he does. So it's a W/G, but with nobody on base. So no runners on, the batter hits a squib in front of the plate, and the catcher throws him out. So it's a 2-3 ground out since there was no one on base. One away, and that's going to bring up Kirk Gibson. So a 2-3 ground out brings up Kirk Gibson. Hello, replay dugout. Good to see you. Gibson, 6-6 against the lefty for Ontiveros is a strikeout. There's a dot there, but he's not tired. So there's 2 away for Alan Trammell. Trammell was intentionally walked his last time up. He has also singled and flown to right. 1 for 2. 5-6, and that's a line out to second base. So Ontiveros 6 up and 6 down in relief, really helping that ERA. Started the day at an even 10. I'm sure it's gotten much better now. So we go to the 8th inning. It's still 6-2 Tigers. This will be the fatigue inning for Jack Morris. The 8th inning is his fatigue inning, so we'll keep an eye on that. He's facing Phillips. He'll be facing Phillips, Tettleton, and Griffin, the bottom third of the order. Phillips, Tettleton, and Griffin, bottom third of the order. 311 for Griffin is a ballpark single check. It's only a 1-2, and that's a 20. You didn't think the D20 was going to be a low number for the A's, did you? Come on now. Liner to say, I told you it's rigged. So it's already predetermined the Tigers are going to win this game. Here's Tettleton. D20 is making sure of it. 2-7. Struck him out. Strikeout number 5 for Jack Morris. He's keeping full endurance so far. Looking to finish what he started. Here's Alfredo Griffin. 5-4. Switch hitter batting left. That's a pop out to Whitaker at second base. And so definitely Jack Morris will keep his full fatigue into the 9th inning as he's looking to finish it all out. But we do have the obligatory bottom of the 8th to go through. And it'll be Sheridan, Noakes, and Evans. Noakes has doubled and hit a grand slam home run. So he's been a part of a lot of the offense in this game. So except, you could probably make him the player of the game even more so than Jack Morris. Here's Sheridan, 3-7, and he will strike out. So Sheridan out on strikes. 1 away, and here comes Noakes. He's 2 for 3, a double and a grand slam home run. 111, and oh boy, he just missed another home run here, but here he's got a ground ball to first with a possible injury. So McGuire takes it to the bag himself for the out, but now we need to check and see if Noakes is going to be injured for this game only, the remainder of the game. And ironically, I was going to take him out for a defensive replacement anyway. So 1-4, he stays in the game. Anything else, he comes out, and he's going to come out, but it doesn't matter because I was going to pull him anyway. And they are going to a new left fielder, Terry Harper. So Terry Harper will come in and play left field, much better defender at a 2 versus the 4. So Terry Harper will be in left field in the 9th inning. Terry Harper. Right now, Darrell Evans will bat. He has a 2-run homer in the 2nd that gave him the lead to begin with. Well, that one didn't go through. It stayed on top of the tray, or the tower, so let's try it again. 4-5, left-handed, split chance. 1-4 is a single. It'll be a line out to second base. And how about that? Steve Ontiveros, 9 up and 9 down in relief. Talk about saving your bullpen. He will get a tip of the cap from Tony La Russa on that. So now, top of the 9th, last chance for the A's. It's the top of the order, Polonia, Davis, and Lansford. 6-2 Tigers as they look to improve to 14-13 on the replay and drop the A's to 19-12. Polonia 0 for 3. Was a 287 hitter, though, so we're not going to pinch hit for him. 4-9, and that is a line out to Darrell Evans. one away. So Morris 2 outs away from the complete game. Mike Davis, the designated hitter, he was also 0 for 3. 4-9, and that's the same result. Another line out to Darrell Evans. 2 down for Carney Lansford. Lansford also 0 for 3. One of many who are 0 for 3. 3-3 for Lansford. He lines out to Brookins at third, and that's going to do it. Jack Morris, a complete game victory. Tigers win it by the score of 6-2, and we'll get the totals for each team. For the Tigers, 6 runs, 9 hits, and no errors. For Oakland, 2 runs, 2 hits, and 1 error. Home runs in the game, Hot Dog Jackson did manage to hit his 7th home run of the season, but Darrell Evans hit his 7th, and Matt Noakes his 9th, which was a grand slam. Player of the game is going to be Matt Noakes. I know Jack Morris pitched a complete game, but Matt Noakes 2 for 4 with a grand slam home run in the 5th inning that really put the game away when it was just a 2-1 game, and also scored in front of a 2-run homer for Darrell Evans. Let's get the totals for the pitchers. Ontiveros, 3 innings pitched. He struck out 2, gave up nothing. So he started the game with an ERA of 10, did Ontiveros. It's now down to 7.50, so he's much better. Jack Morris, 9 innings pitched, 2 hits, 2 runs, a walk, and 5 strikeouts. And he improves to 4-3. Moose Haas drops to 0-2. Tigers improved to 15-14. A's dropped to 19-12. Game number 203 is in the books. Kathy, you take care. Stay cool out there wherever you are. Next game in the replay. There's actually 2 more games to go on this May 10th date. Not sure when I'm going to play them, but Seattle at Milwaukee will be the next game, game number 204. It'll be Bill Wegman against Mike Moore. And then to finish out the May 10th Sunday schedule will be Toronto at Texas, and it'll be Bobby Witt against Joe Johnson, game number 205. And then we'll switch over and get new opponents going forward. Next game on the channel, though, is probably going to be Inside Pitch, where you're looking at Philadelphia and Pittsburgh from 1977. Larry Christensen against John the Candyman Candelaria from Three River Stadium. But I appreciate all you spending part of your Wednesday afternoon with me. Hope you are having a good day wherever you are. And stay cool out there if you're in one of these hot regions like I'm in right now. I'm staying cool in front of the air conditioner. I had to go out this morning. I had to make an errand run this morning around 10 o'clock, but I got back in very quickly, and I'm not venturing back outside anymore today, as far as I can tell, unless there's an emergency or something where I have to go out. So that's going to do it from here. Once again, final score, Tigers 6, A's 5. And statistically on the standings, with that victory, the Tigers now pulled to within 4.5 games of first place Milwaukee and New York. They are at 15-14. Oakland loses. They're 19-12. They dropped to 3 games in front of Kansas City and Chicago, but only 1 game in the loss column. They've got a lot of games in hand that Kansas City and Chicago will be making up. But they are 19-12. They were 14-17 real world at this point, so they're still 5 games above what they were before. The Tigers were 11-18 in real world, and they're already 15. So they're 4 games better than what they were in real world, and they ended up winning the division. So you never know what's going to happen with Strat-O-Matic rolls. With the home team winning this game, the home team now has won 99 games on the replay and lost 104. So we still can't get the home team to be over 500, but hopefully they will at some point. So until next time, enjoy playing whatever game you choose to play, however you choose to play it, and I will see you all down the road.